Hello there. Are you ready for tonight's story? Well, tonight we're going to read a book called I May Be Little. It's by Marilyn Lashbrook, and it's a story about when King David was a little boy. Are you ready? Long ago, in a land far away, lived a little boy named David. He had 7 brothers who were older and bigger and stronger than David. They did not want a little boy in the way while they were working. Sometimes David felt very small and unimportant. But one day his father gave him a job of his very own. He asked David to be a shepherd. A shepherd is someone who watches the sheep. A shepherd counts his sheep to make sure they are all with him. You can learn to count the sheep too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A shepherd leads his sheep to water and food. He puts medicine on their scratches. A shepherd loves his sheep. David was glad to have a job to do. I may be little, but God will help me do big things. David took his sheep to the grassy hills. He watched while the big sheep ate lunch. He laughed when the little lambs romped and rolled among the wildflowers. But sometimes David felt lonely. There was nobody to play with. So David made up songs to remind himself that God was always near. David spent many hours talking to God. They became best friends. David knew God could help him become a good shepherd. God could help him protect his sheep from hungry animals. Often, David practiced throwing rocks with his sling, and he learned to hit his target every time. Once a growling bear came and chased the little lambs. Round and round David whirled his sling, and then zing went a stone through the air. Whack went the stone on the big bear's snout. Grrr went the bear as he zipped away through the bramble bushes. Another day, a ferocious lion spied David's sheep. He wanted lamb burgers for lunch. With one big bound, the lion pounced on a fluffy lamb and snatched it away from its mama. There was no time to use his sling. David ran as fast as he could. He knew God would help him save his sheep. Before the lion knew what had happened, David grabbed him by the mane and bopped him on the head. The fluffy lamb was safe, and David was happy. He had done a good job. I may be little, but with God's help, I can do big things. David became a great king in Israel. He built it into this huge nation. Always he followed God. Once in a while he made mistakes and messed up, but then he would say he was sorry and come back to God. He was a great king. He got noticed to become king when he was able to beat a giant that was scaring everybody by using the slingshot that we saw him use in this story. But I think what made David such a great king is that he started off as a shepherd, and he learned to care for sheep, because a great leader, a really great leader, is somebody who cares a lot, somebody who wants to take care of the people that he or she is leading. Today in church we heard about how Jesus was called the Good Shepherd. Jesus called himself that, and others called him that because Jesus cared so much. Jesus was, well, David was one of Jesus' ancestors. That means that Jesus' parents had parents, had parents, had parents, could trace it all the way back to David in the family tree. But Jesus is an even greater king than David because Jesus cares more than anybody. The kind of care that Jesus has for you and for me and for all the people is called love. And do you know how much Jesus loves us? Of course you do. He loves us this much. So God bless you. God bless you that you remember always that you are the beloved child he created you to be.